Especially in this setup, you have double front line. Like really, really hope. I do also think that as far as champions go, that can counter Elastic Slingshot. You actually have a pretty reasonable setup for Nongshim. You have Sylvie with Scatter the Weak most notably. Oh god.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna do it.
Dundon!
For the first time
Dundon!
since the Challengers Finals.
Oh, the Game 5 Jax split push win condition.
Set expectations. This was against Thanatos, which very strong player in the context of Challengers. He went 0-7. He still got MVP, which we talk about a lot, but he went 0-7 in lane. If you do that against KT, you are going to get bullied. And overall, I love the draft from KT. The one downside I do think is indeed that the value of Merc Threads is wild. The amount of magic damage is really, really heavy. And overall, I don't think Vital's going to have a lot of fun in this game with the amount of backline dive and poke that's available. But I do think that both these compositions have a lot of power, and it really depends on how it is piloted. You have Prio and mid, and you can try to roam with your rise towards that lane. But against Syndra, you actually should have a hard time. You should be somewhat locked in lane. If Fiesta plays out that matchup well, then you look at the ganking potential. Both Sejuani and Zac in particular can have a lot of impact here. So, gonna be looking towards the jungles. Where are they going? As is the Rise Ball thinking about BDD?
I guess so. I mean, that was what was written.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand the context entirely here.
I didn't understand
fans
it at all.
in the audience as well. Yeah, I'm intrigued about the Zac pick. We know that Cuz, very good at finding the angles on this pick, has done so in the past. But I'm looking forward to seeing whether he can do it yet again. And Kane's also going to be absolutely huge this game, just because even aiming is going to do a fair bit of magic damage, so not a lot of Nongshim going to be building the armor.
Yeah, the one downside is I don't think you can get away with Prowler's Claw Renekton, because into Jax, that's... I don't think that works.
Hey, unless there's a Stretch Armstrong in your lane constantly.
We'll see.
We'll see indeed. Let's get onto the Rift. All right, fans still raising their voices for both of these teams. Thankfully, not actually too late. Checking my clock, we're close to 9 p.m.
Yeah, because we started 2 hours earlier.
I know, isn't that great? Because this otherwise would have been like 11.
Can you imagine if you had a Pog State recording after this?
Well, we do.
I know.
So we don't even need to imagine.
That's the joke. Yeah.
Hey, but that does mean Pog State episode coming your way. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I know a lot of people have given us the constructive criticism that, in fact, the Pog State does come out at a cadence that is not exactly ideal. But this time around, it's going to be coming out Tuesday midnight, which is only a couple of days from now, and that will be before the first day of the LCK. So if we keep things away from Challenger, we won't need to worry about anything actually being spoiled before we get in. So really cool stuff.
Oh, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't. Oh, Sylvie.
That's
starting this one up now.
Love that. Oh, Cuz is going to have a tough time. Zac especially is a jungler that really wants to get early levels. In terms of 1v1, obviously, very, very weak. Doesn't really have a lot of dueling potential. As Dundun, I don't think giving anything away, able to get to this wave as well.
Yeah, actually really cute positioning from Dundun.
Yeah,
to come up from the bottom side, sort of like pathing a little bit away to keep things a little bit in doubt on the side of KT. And you can see, as far as pings are concerned, nothing actually giving anything away.
I would also love if I don't think you need to go for anything or a Sylvie. This already is a huge win. Now you just go and clear your entire jungle. Can even go for, you know, like clear your Raptors and then maybe path towards bot. You have your ward as well to keep track, because specifically for Zac, this is a jungler that, in terms of... Oh.
Interesting. So, backing now...
Yeah.
Does this mean that he may know?
No, I don't think he knows. I think he's about to find out. Yeah, it's real tough. Yeah, actually, I love this path himself. Exactly what I said, where you can now, depending on when you see Cuz show up to his Wolves camp, can go for that. As, yep, now he knows.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't think he spotted Gromp yet, and he doesn't even... Oh, well, he sees the ward's gone, but he wasn't spotted on that. But as I was saying, problem with Zach is that Zach as a champion truly starts to shine when he hits level 9, right? When he is max level, at the very least level 3 or 4 in Elastic Slingshot. That's when both his bot lane ganks become extremely oppressive. And that's when he is able to actually influence the map with counter ganks as well. Unfortunately for him, I think that his dueling potential is pretty meh. And I also don't think that Sylvie is going to let him get away with taking, although he will get spotted here, but I think Sylvie wins this 1v1. I don't know.
Well, he's going to stretch Armstrong him back and press some W's quite a few times here as Permafrost is going to come in, but the Gak man pretty happy to just continue losing health, getting a little bit smaller. And there we go. So, Cuz getting some stuff back so far. Very small little Zach.
Yeah, but Sylvie's entire bot side jungle is still up, and he can just take his red. Yeah, overall, I do think quite unfortunate for KT. Maybe he'll get double scuttle based on the current pace. Also, BDD will have Pry on the wave, so it's not the end of the world, but anything that delays a Zach, I think you're going to be very happy with. If you are Sylvie, should now make his way towards the other half, but he's going to back first, so that should be a double scuttle, which combined with the chickens might make up for some of it. We'll see what ends up actually happening here in terms of spikes being hit.
Yep. Cuz also able to at least stay even in camps.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely fine. Doesn't really, I mean, he doesn't care at all about grabbing a blue buff or anything like that. And so therefore,
He is Zach.
is pretty happy with how things are going, everything considered. Frog's going to be the next one to go down, as now it hasn't been the double scuttle just yet. As you can see, Cuz considering a back, but entirely sure what he is actually going to do in the end as Dun Dun.
Yeah, that early back might actually end up really helping Cuz, because Zach, as a champion in general, is quite mobile, but I actually think the boot spy really helped with him being able, as I think.
All right, connects the arms, gets pulled back there as Lehens doesn't quite find the slow on the Q, but still, Flash now down. Scatter the Weak is decent, but BDD seems to not care at all about that.
The Peter gank.
All right, here we go. Look at this, Swag walking in. Force of Will comes down. Great grenade as Peter throws some bees at him. Adorable.
Lehens is top, which this game is weird. I thought we were going to be losing our minds, but like everyone has been moving all over the map.
I think the players are also losing them.
Is he going to find Lehens? Wait, they're going to know about Lehens now.
Well, that is a Flash stun. The snare's going to come through as well. Flash comes out, but still, Cullen the Meek is keen, and Sylvie turns up a little late.
Yeah, I don't think he expected Karma to sit in top. I don't know why anyone did. But this is very much on track for peak Dun Dun on Jack, so that's nice at least, as Aiming is still alone.
The Heimerdinger gank.
Should be able to get out. Cleanses the Ignite.
Oh, Peter's flashing. Expected the Arcane Shift and then looked a bit silly. But I did like the idea there from Peter. That could have been a mega play.
I appreciate the confidence.
Right?
If that works... Oh, Lord.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think Cuz should go for this. Does have the passive, of course.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Well, Ward is going to be put in that brush.
Level 4, though.
Yeah, Peter gets out just fine. But I reckon Cuz could have stayed. We do have, of course, God Vision, so it's fine. Let's have a look at this gank one more time.
Yeah, with Counter-Strike gone, there's nothing that is stopping Dun Dun from getting W. Will get taken down there. Sylvie can't do anything, is only level 4, and very nicely done. By Lehens, able to pick his top laner up a kill. As mentioned previously, Dun Dun's individual performance on the Jax definitely has been spotty, and that's in Challenger. This is the LCK. Overall level will definitely be a bit more punishing in regards to small mistakes like this. And overall, though, game stayed very even, and as mentioned, I do really think that this is one of those games that can go either way. Both Jax and Syndra scale exceptionally well, and the pace of the game has been very slow, but same can be said for Zach and for aiming on this Ezreal. So
Ezreal Rise is pretty scary when it comes to what's
Rise
happen later.
Rise is one, especially in his current form, where his 2-item spike is really revolt, like really
yeah, gross.
Not okay. It is definitely gross. And then you have Also, Vital playing for Fallacy Varus, which means a Zac. Renekton is not going to feel that great. Got to be a really crisp positioning there. But based on last game, anything is possible and anyone can win.
True. Well, Sylvie coming on down here towards this bottom side. Cuz also just walking his way in. Arcane shift out for aiming. And Cuz continues walking. He's like, no, don't want anything to do with this. And now a bit of a scat of the week onto BDD. Cull the Meek and scat of the week in the one game, Chronicler. And it's game 6 of the day. Tough time, I'm not going to lie.
For you. Yeah.
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 Oh, Dundun. Oh, Keen thinking. Oh, sad Pete. Why is it even cuter when Dundun does it?
Because he's always smiling.
That's true.
Well, but he's getting boomed pretty hard by Renekton, so in this case he really isn't.
And actually, like, he's going to lose 2 plates here, full cannon wave. It's that's a real rough time. This is Keen feeling in his element at this point. Just farming between the turrets.
Oh, the proxy, yeah.
Oh dear.
1,300 gold.
Yeah, that is the entire gold lead is Keen. Entirely.
Dundun has a... Oh, he's dead. Oh, still dead.
I don't know if dead, but just
I kind of
having
wanted,
a bad time.
He just backed Atlas.
Yeah. This is reminiscent of what Bulldog did yesterday. Playing out the lane very, very well, forcing inopportune back timings. Looking a little bit similar here as Cuz getting out of there. Fiesta coming on through, takes some popcorn chicken, and Cuz smites it away. Gets an evolution as well. Very nicely done. On his Flygon, I believe, is the Pokemon we've dubbed that one. The mossy friend. It looks a bit Flygon-esque, right? And they're kind of Pokemon, so I'm into it.
I have no opinion on the matter.
You don't? Okay.
No, not particularly. But I welcome your creativity.
Yeah, I like Flygon, and I like Greninja for the blue one.
Oh, come on, Jonas Strong. You didn't have to do him like that. That was mean. Oh.
Dear. Well, there is the Counter-Strike, and it's now gone again as Dundun just forced to get away from this wave. It's 36 CS, the difference. This is a very large top gap. And I don't want to rub it in to Dundun, but I do want to say that
this has happened before.
No, but it's also fantastic to see from Keen to have a few of these games.
I agree.
Because we haven't seen this Keen in a really long time. And we need to see way more of it if this KT is going to live up to what history has told us could be the expectation, right?
But you know what the best part is?
What's the best part?
All Reliable doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
He has an unbreakable mental.
He hasn't even hit his final form.
Oh no, he needs way more depths for that.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna get a surprise steal? Are we gonna get some shenanigans here? I don't think
Fiesta is there. BDD is also there, and they lead.
Yeah, that's a good call. Is Vital dead?
He might be. Has to flash, but is going to at least get to relative safety.
Oh, no
flash on Varus. Feels like dead Varus against Zac.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly the same thing. It's tough. Nongshim as a whole is looking not great. This is much more akin to what we expected. KT with the anti-KT look bad in game 1.
Yeah.
And then look really good in the next 2 games.
They were like, oh, let's take a leaf out of T1's book because they won the series.
Yeah, smart.
And that felt way better. So
type of creativity that I really appreciate in teams.
Yeah. They just thought, like, maybe if we just lose game 1, then we'll win, and it'll be fine. And so that is what's happening right now, at least for the moment, as Vital cleans up this wave, but may just lose another plate here. 12 minutes on the clock. Still a couple of minutes to grab a few more of these plates if they would like to. Essence Reaver complete here for aiming. Going for the non-mythic version of the Ezreal.
There's just not a lot happening for Nongshim, but that's bad.
Yeah, because like it's only getting worse top lane. Like Keen's currently like, 41 CS ahead. This is third plate. Yeah.
That's an okay trade.
That scat of the week was really cute from Fiesta. Okay, we'll see whether it's actually going to mean the kill as Let's Bounce came through for one knock-up, and now they need to kill the Bloblets. BDD trying to fight it, trying to defend his jungler, but it's not going to work. Lahen's trying to stop Peter here, but the turrets are going to be able to push him away as in goes Sylvie. That spacing from BDD, just extraordinary, and Sylvie looks real silly.
Yeah, gonna go down there. Well done by EDD. Even if he does hit that, I don't know if they can actually get the kill as a whole. It's individual this time around.
Oh, yeah.
BDD.
Yeah, BDD just going to get the flash from Dindin. And Dindin, I mean, honestly, looking at the player cam, he looks a little bit annoyed, but I don't think it's bothering him too much. Maybe he's frustrated that he hasn't died 7 times yet, so he can't play the game.
That might be it, yeah. This is, of all the Jax games that Dindin has played, this is not the best one, but it's also not the worst one. And I like to find some solace in that. As
so you're saying that it's one of the games that he's played on Jax?
Well, I don't want to say that. I feel like we overuse that. As this is exactly the interaction I was talking about. Very nicely done by Fiesta, actually getting that. And if they just get this kill, you're peachy, right? Unfortunately, try to go for the kill on BDD here as well. And can't quite do that. Even, again, if you hit this, Lahens is still there as well. So Sylvie getting a little bit over-enthusiastic, maybe feeling like he needs to carry the way he did in the previous game. And the game state is not great. They do have an early Drake, though, and it's also like, it's a big lead, but it's not insurmountable. And there are a couple of scaling elements that work, not necessarily in favor, but like work decently out for Nongshim.
Yeah, they at least have a lot of pick potential if they can get some vision on this map. So when they do manage to get some semblance of control, then they can snowball effectively. But so far, KT have been playing this one out pretty nicely. Outside of that, I mean, this poke advantage is good.
They can win the 4v4 though, because a lot of the gold is actually on Keen. So if Keen isn't there, they can actually win fights. So I actually like this aggressiveness from Nongshim. I do think that as long as you make sure that Renekton isn't, because if Renekton is there, you lose the fight and probably lose the game.
Well, Aiming gonna have to cleanse Arcane Shift to get out of that Glacial Prison. That is a big cooldown that has been removed for this Dragon fight. Nice little sidestep there from Vital as he charges up his Piercing Arrow. So far, just standing ground in mid lane, the 280 carries, but the fight is around this Dragon pit that I'm most interested in, and then very interested in whether or not we're going to get our first Cloud Soul of the day.
I don't think we'll get a fight. I think that Nongshim is just going to give it, especially because also this charge is coming through. Going to need to try and clear that as it should be fine. Cancelling on the back is nice. And now, actually, with fresh backs, I think they can go for this. Fiesta hasn't back though. Very important. Doesn't have his item spike. As Keen just lost his bounty. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah. Strange.
Interesting.
Picks up a bit more farm here as he heads back towards bottom side. The answering side lane farm from Fiesta was probably what did it.
In this game that we've talked about a lot, where in the 5th game of Nongshim versus back then Damonkia, Nongshim wasn't supposed to get that far, wasn't even supposed to be in the finals. T1 versus DRX and challenges was way, or if he was DK rather, was way more likely. It was, as we joked about often, a split pushing attempt from Dindin on his Jax continuously that kind of made the game unplayable. The reason why this works is because everyone on Deepos is, I want to say, between 17 and 18. So split pushing has never really been a thing. Unfortunately, in this case for Nongshim, you got to be able to win team fights, because right now I think it's really, really tough with the gold deficit to count yourself in, because all these players are literally, I think it's the oldest roster that we have, right, in terms of average within the LCK. So there is a lot of experience here.
Born in 1999.
Yeah.
Some of our older ones, yeah.
So overall, KT is definitely going to know how to respond to that. And as a result, the angles back into this game for Nongshim are much more actually finding good 5v5s. And I do think that, for example, Fiesta finding a big scatter can work. Their CC chains are really, really good, but KT also kind of slowing down the game to a glacial pace. And they're going to be perfectly happy. As here we see 2 stacks now picked up on the Rod of Ages already, so it's going to be done at about 25 minutes.
Yeah, BDD also going to be
oh god,
very close to Seraphs as well.
They don't see it yet.
Okay. In goes Keen. He is looking so scary. Fiesta offering a bit of damage back there, but honestly, it does not matter whatsoever. Keen comes on over, and yeah, Ruthless Predator sometimes isn't named correctly. In this case, absolutely is. True Shot Barrage, fair bit of damage onto Vital. But he's only going to be able to get a few taps on this outer turret. No real equalizing of that play. Really nicely done here from KT. And this lead is just growing.
Nicely done as well. TP to deny the Nuna possible chance. Meanwhile, Keen also unmatched in the side lane. Can get a split push going there as well. Picks up the bot side turret. So this is really nice from KT. It's not flashy, but it's just very straightforward. Deep teleport play. Then immediately turn into a new turret. Deny the enemy the opportunity to pick yourself up a turret. As, of course, with the new Jax, you actually can build AP. There were a lot of AP scalings added, so you can do this. Do I think it's the best Jax build? I don't feel like I have a strong or overly informed opinion, so I'm very curious to see what it'll do.
Are you saying that Rageblade Nashor's Tooth Jax is a thing now that's good?
No, I wouldn't do that. That's definitely not a thing.
Wait, really?
No, I don't think so. No, I think you just build a Zhonya's because it's a broken item. I swear, I can hear. I swear, I can hear Veldas shouting in pure glee somewhere.
Yep. I just like anyone that can build Rageblade Nashor's Tooth. I think it's just fantastic.
It has not been a combo for a really long time.
I know. I'm sure you could still build it on Kale, can't you?
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Mordekaiser?
No.
Oh. No. Damn it. I always get so close to being happy.
No, if you build on Mordekaiser, like Nashor's, maybe. I don't think so, but that I could theoretically see.
Diana?
Nashor's, yes. Rageblade, no, absolutely not.
I always used to. And I have people pinging my items all the time.
I wonder why. Gee.
It's just I have a good time. Anyway, we digress. And by we, I mean I. As Nongshim just try to defend their waves. But it's just feeling like they're circling. And it's not what you want to be doing at this stage. This draft wants to be trying to find angles, wants to be able to find these picks, get to a position to take away objectives and things like that, but it's just not a thing that they're capable of doing as Keen. He picked that leap strike timing pretty beautifully there, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Got that token ward out though, so that's definitely good news. KT are just continuing to just push further and further forward.
Yeah, and now we see, because of course level 11 has double level in ultimate, Radiant Virtue done, has maxed out his stretching, or his elastic slingshot rather, so KT can start a fight whenever they want to. They have an unmatchable monster in side lane, and for Nongshim, you need a miracle team fight to get back in this game.
Well, let's see whether they can do it here as the teleport is going to come forward. Shirley slams her head into the inner turret, and KT are going to back away for now. Fiesta, teleport still in hand, does push a wave into that top outer turret, so at least they've alleviated some pressure there. But with 45 seconds on this Hextech Drake, KT looking to stack up 3 of those, and that is that sounds real scary for what the rest of the game could hold.
Yeah, no, you'll lose. You'll lose the game. I don't want to play against Hextech Soul Ezreal. That's not.
No, it doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
That's not fun. No, it's not. It's not fun.
He never used to build Static Shiv that much, but I imagine if he had used to build Static Shiv, we would have known what Hextech Soul Ezreal would be like.
Well, he's getting it for free this time around, so.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not really fair. Rise now. Seraph's done. And in a few minutes is going to also hit the 10 on Rod of Ages spike, and already this by itself, huge power spike, and it's only going to get worse.
Or better, depending on whether or not you're a KT fan. It's because, speaking of KT fans, he is going to be starting off this Hextech Drake, still a while away from any souls or anything like that. Looking at about, 35 minutes or something.
Yeah, we're giving that up.
In.
That makes complete sense. I actually would love it if they try to set up a trap here. I think you need to think out of the box, try and think creatively, right? Try and put some pressure. This might be a trap.
Okay.
Might work.
Speeding up. Vital able to get out of the way of Lehenz's Q. Very nicely done. As Nongshim move on over towards this Baron Pit. To get Sylvie back towards his jungle. Not sure whether you can call that safety. As Lehenz, Cuz all moving on in here. Cuz can get anywhere in a moment's notice is what it feels like. And Sylvie knows. He knows that he's not safe.
Teleported in.
Well,
they might try and look for a fight here.
Arctic Assault was pretty nice there. As you can see, Sylvie's going to get pulled back. And Cuz steals this one away. Sylvie taking a lot of damage from aiming. As Keen just moves towards this mid lane. He is just massive on this Crocodile, but not going to be able to go underneath the turret, as you can see. Elastic Slingshot comes through. That True Shot Barrage did not look like it hit at all. something hitbox, right? But still, KT just getting everything that they want. They can go through the enemy jungle and just take things away. BDD comes back towards his top side, and yes, Nongshim were able to get that out of turret, but if that's all you're celebrating about, it's not good enough at this point in time. 4,000 gold remains the lead.
Hey, look at Dundon's inventory.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's Azonia's.
Uh-huh.
He was listening.
Yeah, it's really good into the armor specifically, into specifically Keen. And no one else. It's not bad against us, really. I shouldn't exaggerate.
I like it.
Well, it's definitely going to allow him to make much more aggressive Counter-Strike plays, but we haven't really seen any aggression from Nongshim, barring Peter going for the E early on. That was the grenade, the predict grenade.
Oh,
you know?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's the confidence I want.
If aiming had have arcane shifted, he probably would have arcane shifted to where he grenaded. Okay.
True.
So it was pretty sick.
Yeah, so this is very nicely done by our observer, showing that BDD is getting an inner.
Yeah.
And the outer is still very, very much standing. And it's hard to engage here as well. You don't want to engage onto a Zac. That feels really bad, but trying to throw anything on aiming also doesn't really work as...
Dundon? All right, Kane's going to Dominus. Finds a Ruthless Predator. He might just die. Manages to cull the Mikas. Oh my goodness, it was a 1v1. Oh, Dundon, you've been robbed. The leap strike's fantastic. Ruthless Predator comes in again, and BDD gets the kill. But I think in our hearts, Dundon won that. Lahan's going to get caught out of position. Vital gets some revenge here as Sylvie's in trouble. Aiming, great positioning right now as he chases them down. Ooh. But, cuz Elastic Slingshot, he's very low. And yeah, I think it makes a bit of sense that he's decided to cancel that one.
Here's the secret.
What's the secret?
Dundon isn't worth any money.
Yes, he is.
No, he is.
Don't say that.
I am just baffled because I actually do think he would have won the 1v1.
Yeah, he was winning.
Yeah, that's I don't know how to feel about that. That is truly shocking.
Okay, so Kane started off at 50% health, no rage.
Well, yeah, but that's also because they've been trading beforehand, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Dundon also has his stopwatch himself as well. So I think that if he stopwatches here, the problem is against Ryze and Renekton, like you're just going to wait for a W to come through. So it's just really hard to get anything done as Lahan's here feels safe because there is a control ward, but the ward in the brush is actually on the very edge. So it wasn't cancelled, so it actually just had full vision. Lahan's felt safe, thought they didn't have any vision, so he gets kind of caught off guard there.
Yep.
As, wow, a very clear sign here from KT that the only person they care about is Fiesta, and no one else matters. Because they're itemizing really heavily into MR, and it kind of goes into what I was saying. I would personally love... I
think they care about Peter as well.
I mean, we all care about Peter.
Yeah. And he does sick damages.
No, he doesn't. I think for Vital specifically, it's hard because there also is a lot of backline dive, and the question, how many orders can you get off realistically versus the team on KT? But with the amount of frontline that he does have, I do think that in later stage of the game, he would have had the ability to like really carry fights, and now I don't think that's happening. As I still don't know, and I don't know if Keen actually is building Force of Nature, so he will probably stop winning again once that is done, I assume.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like Dundon does get more powerful the more deaths he has.
Well, he's also Jack, so in general, like levels and getting later into the game.
I think it's the deaths, actually.
That would make a lot more sense. They have spotted him. They know Dundon is coming.
All right, Kane finding an angle here as Sylvie off to the side. Not spotted just yet. Winter's Wrath coming in. Control ward, not long for the world.
Dundon is on a deep flank, but I don't... He's a man with a mission, but I don't know if it's the right mission. Drake definitely gone, so it's all about the fight.
Yeah. Sylvie biding his time. Cuz smites it away, and Dundon... I'll go back to lane.
Finally! Will it happen?
Well, this run warp right in the middle of the lane will take them to the Baron.
No!
Oh, dear. It's not happening. Teleport to come forward here as everyone wants to get amongst it. As double, as Fiesta and Dundon will turn up. Scatter the Weak doesn't really do anything as Lahan's trying to get out. The Baron goes to KT, but can they win the fight is the question. And I believe the answer is a resounding yes, as BDD is a machine gun And Fiesta, he will be able to take himself a Hex Gate and get out, but I don't think Peter the Beekeeper is going to be able to do the same. As, okay, Fiesta may also not get out because this is a, it's a Zac. And so therefore, he can go everywhere whenever he wants all the time.
What is happening?
What are you doing? Peter is a god, okay? He kept everyone busy for a really long time. As the Elastic Slingshot comes out again, Cuz has his passive. So I guess he just doesn't care. Stretch Armstrong not going to work because there's nothing else to attach it to. But Fiesta is still dead, and KT will win a resounding fight after getting themselves also a Baron, also getting Soul Point. They'll take the inhibitor turret, and in fact, KT are just taking absolutely everything. It's a 10,000 gold lead. It's turning into a shellacking, even if it's a bit late.
I think this game is over. Fiesta doesn't hit enough people with his scatter, and then here you see why playing Lethality Varus into Zac and Renekton it's not a good time. You just die.
Yeah.
Don't really get to play the video game, unfortunately. And KT playing out their lead, I think, very nicely. Not going to catch Keen here either. And overall, I think KT, in perhaps the most KT way possible, are about to take the victory here over Nongshim. Will put KT to a 1-1 scoreline. And it's slow, it's steady, but it gets the job done, and that's all that matters.
No, absolutely. And I think that KT did a really good job getting their mental back in order after that first loss, because this is a team full of players that have been affected emotionally by losses in the past, right? So this is definitely good learnings. Not the cleanest of series, but the last two games have been all KT the entire time. And they really have kind of asserted themselves in this one. Inhibitor going down very, very low as B2D having a field day. Just a really enjoyable time. Level 18, of course. And, yeah, just ready to do the damage. Fiesta in trouble here as Amy's just going to dive on forward. Cuz looks a bit silly because his target's no longer there, but that is the Ruthless Predator on top of Sylvie. Keen diving on in. Dundun in a bit of trouble as B2D's running so extraordinarily fast and now just walking them down. Vital and Peter on the fountain. They can now try and free hit. Permafrost comes on in as B2D gets his shield. And he's absolutely fine. Just rise things, I guess. Oh my goodness, the Mystic Shot picks it up from aiming. And yeah, this is the end of the game, guys. KT massively far ahead in games 2 and 3, but Nongshim finally getting a victory. It might be one singular game, but I think that if you watch them during Challenger, if you've become a fan of this squad that have been playing together for so long, then you're going to be very, very happy with that, because KT is a team with so much more experience under their belt, and Nongshim taking a game is huge.
I think we're also seeing something that a lot of these teams are learning, which is if you play a slow and steady game against any of the challenger teams, you're probably going to be fine. The issues arise when they try to skill check, because if there's one thing that you might not know if you don't watch challengers, it's very aggressive, right? Like, maybe not in the current map, but as a whole, much more aggressive than the LCK. Very mechanically intensive league. But the macro isn't really there, because macro you build through experience, through coaching, right? So what happens, what we see so many times now, and I think this is going to remain a recurring trend, is that if you are a better team, if you're a more experienced team, play it slow, because they won't know how to get out of a tough situation. And if you try to actually skill check to go for these 1v1s, these 2v2s, the more high-risk plays, you might end up losing. Yeah, I voted for Keen. That did not come as a surprise. He had an impeccable Renekton, and I agree. For Nongshim, great night for KT. You get the win. Really feels like a win-win for everyone involved.
No, I 100% agree. And this was after, of course, the miracle being achieved by Live Sandbox up against Humble Life Esports. We'll see how much of a miracle that will remain to be as we continue to watch both of the teams in the upcoming weeks. But B2D having a good one as well. Game number 2, a lot of redemption for B2D, and he was just a raid boss on the rise in the third one. So really good to see B2D finding some form here. But he was always a Spring player. If you remember, B2D in Spring on Gen G also absolutely terrifying. Aiming, having a pretty good day himself, especially on the Ezreal, which he really did look at home on. LCK AD carries and Ezreal. I guess it will always remain a thing.
And the game plan that we've seen here of don't actually 5v5, don't go for high-risk plays, I think will remain a very effective roadmap. Unfortunately for everyone involved, It's not the most engaging because it involves basically eliminating all risk, knowing that you have the lead, you can outfight if you just play it slow. And overall, I think the most important is getting the job done. There are a couple of players on this team, right? Keen individually, I think, looked like a shadow of his former self when he was playing in 2022. Even
I agree.
Yes, jungle and support weren't great in the team, but still, even taking that into account, I think he looks a lot worse for BDD. It was truly a tragedy, the year that he had after what was probably his best international performance ever. When he played on Gen G in 2021, was the main reason, in my opinion, that team was even able to make it to the semifinals and was one game away from making finals, which, talking about that Gen G, still is kind of mind-boggling because they were a fairly one-dimensional team, as yours truly has complained about a lot. And I think that games like this are very important for the confidence of this team and to make sure that they don't fall in the traps that they've fallen to in the past.
No, I agree. Having a look at some of the highlights here, of course, a little bit difficult because a lot of this game was a lot of downtime, but this was a big moment where Dundun honestly almost got the solo kill against Keen, even after BDD turned up. Just not quite able to get it in the end. Still, honorable effort for the top laner. But this was the back-breaking moment. And KT, it's definitely good news. I think that Nongshim had a really, really cool idea in game number 1, a risky one in game number 2, and then they kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah, just not able to individually match at that point. You know, Sylvie getting taken down in the mid lane play, then Dundun going down early on and then getting really heavily pressured and not being able to play the game at any point from there onwards. Those are really the moments that, if you're in challengers and those mistakes happen, you can come back. But in the LCK, I don't think you should be able to come back from those. We have seen that the meta right now is very get a lead early and then play it out, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I think the meta right now is exceptionally snowbally, and the most rewarding and the best way to play is actually, as we saw here, play it slow, play it steady, play it methodical. Even D plus Kia against a team that were way better than, in the form of Liv Sandbox, those were not fast games.
No, they still took a bit of time. Yeah.
I think that really, we are, until the patch hits, this is how the game in terms of pro play is going to look.
And having a look at the damage numbers here, of course,